okay. So Telluride is a mountain. Telluride is a mountain. If there was actually snow, it would be like incredibly awesome to ski. They have a lot of terrain. They have a weird middle like dead zone in the middle of the mountain that like kind of sucks to get from one side to the other. But they have a lot of really good. The reason I like it is they've got virtually everything. They've got really good blues and double blues that are like pretty wide that are going to be groomed. Like you can actually just cruise. Core with the gift itself. Appreciate it, Core. Thank you so much. They've got, you know, a lot of glade skiing. They've got some groomed blacks, which are nice. And then as far as the more difficult terrain, like they've got hike 2 terrain, which most of it wasn't open when we were there. A lot of glades, which I'm sure would be way more fun with snow. They have a bowl called Prospects Bowl in the middle of the mountain. That's like pretty good. And I'm sure that's much better with snow. And then they have a back bowl, which I didn't get a chance to ski because again, lift wasn't open. So like in general, the skiing wasn't bad. It's like the best way to describe it. How many people in here ski? Like, or snowboard? Put a 1 in the chat if you ski or snowboard. Put a 2 if, you know, you don't be doing that. Because I'm about to get real technical on this shit. Yeah, I did some scouting for Jace. But it seems like they don't need it. Their fucking team's frying right now. All right. Can I teach you to ski? Yeah, maybe. So normally when you go out west, it stays pretty cold. And so what that does is that overnight, the snow doesn't melt, right? Or harden or get icy. And so it's very fluffy, even when they groom it, right? Even when you do corduroys on like a groomer, it's going to be pretty soft and you're going to be able to carve and get a nice edge and like really be able to cruise. What's happened, unfortunately, in Colorado this season, you see a lot out east usually, is it's not staying consistently cold enough. So the snow is constantly hitting freezing point. And one of 2 things are happening. Either it's turning liquid and then freezing instantly overnight and becoming this very like crunchy, bouncy surface that's like very annoying to ski. And then it gets skied off and it's terrible. Or what happens is it gets way too soft. And when you ski it, you just get fucking like slowed down. Anyone who's ever skied in like spring conditions knows this. Like the snow is very soft and slushy and you just get like stopped. So which is why the skiing was just like mixed. It sucks because like I wish the conditions were better when we were there. And my cousins right now, my brother are out there. I assume today's better because they got snow. But it wasn't good. It sucks. Everywhere in Colorado sucked apparently. But the Telluride town is really nice. I will go back. Town is great. One of the cool things about Telluride, let me pull up a map so you can kind of understand this. Because I'm telling you, this is like, this will help you visualize. Done real quick. So Telluride's got a really cool feature, which is they have a gondola that you can take from the base of the mountain all the way into town, and it's free, and it runs like literally until like midnight, like till the bars close. So there's like kind of no reason to own a car in this town, but also like it's super easy. Like our house that we stayed at, which is like right here-ish. Yeah, it was like right here-ish. Actually, no, I take that back. No, the house we stayed in was like actually more like right here. This road goes much longer. Anyway, it was like super easy to get into town when we were staying at the house. So that's like a cool feature, but yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the town. So you guys are probably wondering about my knee. Okay, so let me get to the knee story. All right, so we ski Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or today's Thursday. Today's Friday. So Tuesday, we're skiing, right? And again, conditions are like whatever. And we start off on like this side of the mountain, which is like pretty good. It was a little bouncy, but like, you know, it was like not too bad. Couldn't really do much of like the doubles in the trees because like, again, the glades were just so bad. I did like Me and my cousin did. Where is it? Me and my cousin did this, and it ends in a little bit of a glade, and we were like, eh. The glade was like kind of all kick turns, and it was just kind of fucking ass, honestly. The hike was good though. Like this wasn't that bad. It would actually be much better with snow. But like, well, this is like closed, for example. But anyway, the glades, we couldn't do any of these glades over here. So we hiked over to the prospect situation over here. And so what happened, you guys are probably wondering like what happened to my knee. So it's probably around like noon. There's a big like intersection of trails right here. And in one area, like once you get across this bowl, which is like kind of right here-ish, there's like a way around all this. It's more of like a curve way because it's like two like lift intersections, just clusterfuck of trails. We decided to take like a double blue. There's like a double blue somewhere like in between here. And it was like all moguls, which not too bad. Like I could ski moguls, that's no problem. The problem is I didn't realize at the end of the moguls that there's like a traverse and then there's a like a hill. And I couldn't stop myself quick enough going through the moguls. So I like kind of bounced off the last mogul onto the traverse, bang, then like flew through the traverse onto a hill. And then I like kind of tumbled on my side. And like, I didn't really think much of it. A traverse is like a very flat path. Like, it basically is a way to like cut across trails and mountains to like cruise. So like, for example, like this trail is basically a traverse. This basically traverses all the way down to this trail. It's like basically a flat for the most part. Flat or like slight, you know what I'm saying? So I fell, and like I didn't really think much of it. Like we skied in a couple hours. Like I felt fine. Like no issues. Like I felt perfectly fine. You know, a little sore, but I was like, I felt like bang my knee, like whatever. I get back to the house. I'm like limping a little bit. I'm like, okay, let me take a shower. We had these nice steam showers, which is kind of cool. Like basically it's like, think of it like a shower combo, like sauna. Those are like really nice. But after I get out of the shower, my knee like really starts hurting. My ACL's not shocked. My knee really starts hurting, so I'm like, okay, fuck. I'm gonna like ice it. Like my knee was starting to swell at this point. I was like, ah. So I go a couple hours. We'll talk about phase in a bit. Well, we got a lot of time to talk about COD. We get to dinner that night, and like by the time I get in the car, I'm in like a decent amount of pain. We get to dinner, and it wasn't great. It wasn't great. So I was like, oh shit. So I wake up the next morning, talk to my doctor, like telecall. They had me do a few tests. And basically I got an LCL sprain. So like no ACL sprain, no like integrity in my knee issue. Actually this morning, I went to get a follow-up appointment with my internist because I like was remote. They confirmed it. It's like the pain was on like the outside of my right knee. I just sprained my like my LCL ligament. So it was pretty painful the first like probably 24 hours. Now it's not so bad. The only problem is my knee is still like hella swollen. So if you're gonna see me like put ice packs on like a lot the next couple of days, because I gotta do it like every couple hours, just know I'm like, you know, I'm trying to get the swelling down. Be careful playing golf. Yeah, I'm supposed to play golf on Monday. My doctor said, like, if my swelling's down, I have range of motion, like, I need to wear my knee brace for a while, like, for a few weeks. Yeah, listen, my leg is elevated. I have my fucking brace on. Trust me, we're ricing up in this bitch. But yeah, basically, like, it's gotten much better in the last couple of days. Like, yesterday, today is pretty good. But no, my integrity of my knee is fine now. It, like, definitely felt weak the first day or so, but it feels fine now. There's literally no pain. I have, like, not as good a range of motion. That's because my knee is fucking still swollen. So, okay, yeah, he's coming with shit. Anyway, it's not that bad. Like, it wasn't that bad of a fall, like, all things considered. I have had much worse. But nah, Telluride was good. I just wish we had more snow because it was, like, legit. Like, none of this shit was open. None of this shit was open. Like, any of the good hike to terrain was all, like, closed. Which sucks. But that's what it is. They just got no snow chat. What have I missed? Let's start with let's do a little bit of COD. Let's start with the Elite. I watched a little bit yesterday. Looking like the Elite's looking pretty lit. Oh, by the way, I do have a golf pick in. So, diss track reaction, we'll get to in a sec. I have a golf pick in. The vacation was good. I had a good time on vacation, had some good food. It was solid. W vacation. We'll talk about phase in a bit, Kenneth. We got plenty of time. I think today's gonna play much harder. And also in classic fashion, like these greens are hard. So I have Scotty less on the Gers and Vegas more in the shots because I think Vegas just had a good day yesterday. And Scotty's good, but I do think like teeing off in the afternoon, like there's already tough pins. So I think like 12-5 is like way too high for this course. I think he'll get like 10 or 11. Scotty could come out and shoot 6 under, but bang on that not to happen. The 6-man, this is a Zuma 6-man. So you use the Picks command in the chat. This is Zuma 6-man. He did this on stream yesterday. I don't know if it hits. It's a lotto, so tail lightly. Don't throw your whole fucking bankroll in this shit. But it's an absolute clusterfuck. I don't know the rhyme or reason on Tommy and how he did this. I just tailed it. So if you got problems with it, talk to Tom. All right, I haven't seen the full elite standings. Let me look at EU first. Your quick EMEA thoughts. Anthony Kim's gonna have a big day. I'm not watching Hong Kong. What standings? So Rocky Sports is 4-0. Who's Able Esports? Scythe and Clutch's team? Okay, fair enough, I guess. We're Funny Use 2-2. Launcher Club is fucking where are they? Yeah, Whalers team. And Legend then, wow. Okay, well. Fortnite's group is a shit show. P7 EU's 4-0. Brezzy and Cobra number 3-1. Okay, there's no real surprises. No real surprise in the EU. Look at breaking point stats for the elite. Breaking point standings too. Hold on, wait. No, they just have stats. We'll get to that. Soap coming in saying something nice for once. Appreciate it, Soap. Thank you. Yeah, my 2-man. Let's go. Let's see the NA. Okay, what's the ditch? Oh, it's actually still. Bad. Bum, 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 bum. 1 month what? Thursday night VOD review called Scotch and COD. Bryson takes on a green jacket. I'm gonna make a prediction. It's gonna sound really out of left field, but I will not be surprised if Hideki wins again. I've been thinking about putting money on Hideki to win the Masters. I think he's low-key not playing that bad right now. That might be a crazy claim, but I think Hideki's low-key playing like pretty solid right now. He's just wild off the tee, which he's always been, but like if he's actually good off the tee, he's kind of money. Patrick Reed, yeah, he's been playing pretty good in Europe. Golf's really the best shit. Patrick Reed's actually been playing pretty good in Europe. We'll see. Manny Fitz, he's another one that's just like the problem is we named 3 golfers that's like aren't consistent. All right, let's take a look at I haven't seen much of the standings, so what's the deal here? Bush is 4-0. So Bush, if you don't know this, their team comp right now is a little weird because since I was gone, there were some transactions. Cap's back in the league. Abe's on this team now. So it's Abe, Fire, Wake, and Byron now, which is still a really good team. And from what I've seen, they can't win an overload to save their lives, but they can win hardpoint and searches. So they're chilling in this group. I'm at Brooklyn, which is Asim's team. We expected them to be pretty good, and they're continuing to play well. So they're locked in. Both these teams, I think, now on 3 or 4 wins are 100p locked in. Oh, I haven't listened. I've listened to some of the diss track. We'll get to that in a second. Okay. Who else is in this group? Aluka and them are 2-2. So them and both the Cabal teams are like in a situation. What is their last game? Oh, they had to play Bush. Ooh. Who do they beat though? So they beat Cabal. They lost to Death by Cabal. Oh, it's 100% lock because of like head-to-head and shit? Playoffs are locked because they're 100 p.m. Yeah, they might get last seed. Okay. Death by Cabal loose to both these teams. Is that why? Yeah, I did. Oh, they beat both. And then Cabal probably Cabal Esports probably lost to both of them. Yeah, that's why. Okay, that's probably why. Yeah. That makes sense. They've already lost both. Okay, I mean, it's not that much of a surprise. It's not that much of a surprise in that group. You know what I'm saying? I think like maybe Manny and them getting over like Dark Sives and Timmy and them. You know? But that one's not like super surprising. Group B is also the clusterfuck. I think the biggest surprise to me looking at this is Huntsman being 0-4. And I think that maybe speaks towards the difficulty that they've had with, you know, trying to replace the 2 players that are gone. And, you know, unlike Bush, who are not afraid to get, you know, guys that are, you know, ex-pros, like their Huntsman want to do it a specific way, you know? And I guess they broke that for Johnny. But, I've watched some of the scrims like, They seem like scam artists, bro. Like that's gonna be the key thing for Huntsman is they're kind of in a position that I think Stallions are in sometimes where it's like it's not like they just get outskilled. I just think they just don't make the right decisions on the map in clutch situations, and that's the difference at this level sometimes. So. It's tough to be a tweaker in this game. Stallions Black being 1-3. I mean, okay. I mean, they were in this is a tough group draw anyway. I mean, bro. Their team with Geomac, Julian Vivid, Fellows team, Afro and Beans to them. So, like, one of the Stallions team was in a good position to make it out of this group, but both of them would have taken some crazy shit. So, okay, Stallions Black not making out is good reps for them. I watched a bunch of their series. I thought that they didn't play super bad. I think they probably need to try and win that rematch against FaZe Falcons at chance in this group, but like they're not too bad. I think if you're Tom and like they want to send Stallions Black out to Birmingham, like I think if this team like continues to work out, they can be decent. This is a really tough group. This group draw was crazy. FaZe Falcons, look, I've watched a lot of this team and they're super reliant on just absolute fry power. They have like awful comms. And it's because as good as someone like Nox is, who I think is probably talent-wise good enough to square with probably pros, they just don't have an English, like deep bag of English at all. And that's a big limiter on this team. I'm gonna grab a drink 1 sec. But like, it's not a crazy take, chat. I'm not trying to put it off as a hot take. That's not what I'm doing here. Don't have to know shit. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm just saying that just is what it is with this team. We know, like they can shoot, but it's just going to be this kind of way in a developmental product. So they just got to keep. I mean, my biggest advice to someone like Nox is continue to make sure that you're doing up on your Duolingo, because if you can do that, bruh, there are a number of teams in the league right now that can use a player like Nox. If you can figure out how to learn English, that guy will be 100p in the league. I'm literally not joking. Like, he's actually gross. Like, I'm really not joking. That guy's actually like pretty good at shooting. Now, when you get to the league and being a teammate and a lot of other stuff, but well, they picked up King of. They didn't really have a choice with King of Body. They needed to get some. Remember, because of Paulie, and we'll get to the diss track in a bit. Like, they didn't really have a choice there. I feel like they can find 2 more Arabic stars, but that doesn't really help. Here's the thing. And I'm really curious what Khaled and them over at Falcons probably think, and they probably agree with this, and it's probably why FaZe Falcons is a thing. Like, they could just make a full Saudi team, but these guys are not going to get better at the one skill they need to be pros, which is learning English. They need English reps. Like a full Saudi team, okay, like, you know, Rocky Sports is a good example. You can make a full Saudi team and like, they slammed everybody in Major 1 and won that fucking Challengers event. Like, that's not the issue. The issue is these guys want to be pros, and to be pros, they got to learn English. And I think this project gives those guys an opportunity to play with NA experience, and at the same time, and like guys that are decent talent, because I think Twitty clearly can shoot, obviously. Like, they just need to get English reps. So if I'm Nox, look, obviously you got to put in your. Then I feel bad for Nox, but this is how it is. Like, you got to keep putting in your in-game reps, but he's also got to make sure he gets English. You know what I'm saying? Abu Naj Bokanai said they all need English to open doors. Is facts. My boy Abu Naj. That's facts. Like I said, they can, you know, they can keep playing full Saudi situations, but that's not going to get them in the league. Like, they got to be able to, if they can, listen, like, I'll give you an example, okay? I'm not saying that I want to have this full convo because we'll table this for a sec, but like, you know, FaZe might be dropping a player here soon. And you guys like to say this Merc thing, but like, there's opportunities on top teams for these guys if they, you know, get it going. It's not Intel. O4 is playing terrible. We'll get to FaZe in a bit. But, I mean, if Jovan doesn't play better, you know, I think they might be making a change there. But anyway, let's get back to the elite stuff for a sec. But this is my bigger point about how the Saudi guys can get real opportunities if they're shooters. I haven't done a 4 minute. I did see that clip. We'll get to that in a bit. But see some of the stats though. I haven't seen like the overall no stats from the group stage. I don't like think too much about it. QK shooting okay. Afro shooting okay. Abe shooting is big for Abe. And then getting back in the league pretty quick. Aluka dropping a 1.2. Wow, I heard he was fucking ass according to chat like 2 weeks ago. Huh, interesting. Byron dropping a 1-2. Okay. Good for Byron. Wake, Diamond Con. There's not a lot of surprises up here. Pierce dropping a 0.68 to C. Like, look at the bottom of the league. Nissim in the middle. Nissim doing his roll, dropping a 1. Knox's S&D numbers. We can take a look. He's got highest S&D KD. Knox is 12-1. 12-1 opening duels. That's crazy. Just 12-1 in opening duels and 1 loss is fucking nuts. He's batting. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Where's Symbols on the list? I think it's probably in the middle. Yeah. BP ratings of 0.92. KD wise is probably. Where is he? He's probably in the middle, right? Yeah. Symbols having a good stage. Zinni's in chat, is he? I'm really curious what, I mean, listen, that's basically right now. I think the biggest takeaway, unfortunately for Zen and them, is just 0-4 disappointment. Yeah, Pierce getting shit on. Yep. I think Huntsman going 0-4 is tough, man. But it happens in challengers, bro. You get a bad stage. And I think their team comp, they had 2 guys get called up. This comp hasn't worked. I think they will probably make some changes going into Birmingham. So we'll see. But I think Huntsman they're gonna have to make some tweaks going into Major 2. So there'll be one more match of the Elite, but it seems like it's pretty anticlimactic based on all that stuff. They won't change. I don't know. You sure about that, Carrie? We'll see what happens. I just, you know this, bro. Like, they're going to sit here for like a week and think about how they went 0-4, and all their friends are going to talk. And you don't think in like 4 or 5 days their thinking might change? I've seen this. I've seen this story too many times, Carrie. They're going to sit here and marinate. Okay? They're going to sit there. They're going to sit here and fucking marinate and stew in the fact they went 0-4 for a week. And I'm telling you, that reflection period usually ends up with some changes. We'll see. The problem is that what might kind of kickstart it is there might be guys who become available, that there might be an upgrade, and we'll see. But I would not, to say that they're not going to change with 100% certainty, Carrie. I wouldn't put your money on that. Because they might scrim this weekend, and it's just this weekend looks terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like they may just bottom out, and then it's like, well, you're not going to spend thousands of dollars to those guys to Birmingham to have no. They want to qual for the Pro-Am, bro. So they trolled every single S&D. I mean, yeah, but that's the problem. Bad teams find ways to lose maps. Did you watch new JJK? Bro, I didn't see. Is it dubbed for fucking Tokyo Colony episode 2? Like, dub wasn't up last night. Is it up now? No, it's not. I don't understand. Gotta watch this subtitles. I'll just wait for the dubs at this point. Like, yeah, I did see PD. I mean, they have no ice, bro. There's a pro-am for Major 3. So you want to get top 2 at Birmingham because it auto quals you, and then if you win the NA and the EU Elite in the next stage, then you get into that pro-am. Vacation was good. Am I going to Major 2? Yeah. Oh yeah, so Major 2 update chat. Does you guys know Tommy's not going? So here's what I'm doing for Major 2. Okay. Major 2, I am running back what I did at Champs last year. Me and Aroma. Going to be squadding up for the matches. We're going to have Don Dada coming through on Friday. And probably at times over the weekend when he isn't coaching. We had some BP boys on, like Trey and the boys will probably come through at some point. I have to talk to Repulse. I think their thing doesn't start till the weekend, so we may get Hector and the boys on too. Vance and them, yeah. I mean, we'll get a lot of EU heads. I think what's going to happen, and I talked to Gabe about this, I think what's going to happen is we're going to get every fucking UK player coming through. I don't think Seth's going, but I think he's fucking with kid, dude. I think he's got dad duty right now. Dylan's not going. Hey, there's an opportunity for Dylan to go, but he couldn't make it work. We're gonna try and get. Oh yeah, there you go. Riley in chat says they're not going. We're gonna try and get as much people as we can out to the rest of the events. I think very likely we're gonna get most of the crew at Champs, like for sure. I've talked to everybody at Vegas Phase, and they're very committed to it. Tom and I got to talk to Paul and, make sure we get the primo for the boys. I'm sure Paul will be down. Is Harry going to be there? Yes, I'm getting Harry a pass. Although Harry has, in recent days, become very annoying, and I told him he's got to be very careful because I'll just not request a pass, and he's just fucked. Nah, Chris is not going. So me and Aroma are going to combo up. We'll get a lot of guests on. We have a very good spot. I've been told that we have one of the best spots in the venue. On the best. So yeah. So we're gonna work on it. I gotta do a few things. Once I gotta get some power adapters. Paris, so we booked. I'm gonna say this for Paris, and shout out to Zach. I found this place. Okay, so we booked. I don't want to post. I don't want to show a photo of it until we get there. But we have an Airbnb booked. Basically, what happened is that at Major 1, we went to dinner. It was like me, Tommy, Dylan's mom, and some people from both the Stallions teams, and Los. We went to dinner. Classic Los fashion, where we need to find a place for 12 people. We ended up at a fucking steakhouse because, of course. That's how shit goes. Of course, we end up at a fucking steakhouse, whatever. And then at the steakhouse, we were sitting there because we were drinking and we're talking about Major 4. And we're like, yo, especially because Tom will go to the event, we should get, instead of hotel rooms, because EU hotel rooms suck. Okay, I'm not trying to shit on Europe. The hotel rooms in Europe are fucking dog shit, bro. Okay, they're just not good. So we have gotten a massive villa that we rented in around the same district of where the event's supposedly going to be. So we'll make some content from there. It was actually not that expensive, Rick. That was a crazy thing. I was just sitting there at the dinner. We were waiting for the Uber, and I found this place, and I was surprised. I'm sure it's got no AC. I'm sure it's just I'm saying I'm sure it's got some issues, but I was just the space wise, I don't give a shit, But anyway, that's what we got for Major 4. So that's a while out though. That's pretty far for now. What's good, Mr. Jace? Mickey Van de Ven, bruh. I don't want to talk about Tottenham, bro. It makes me depressed. There's just nobody. There's nobody guiding the ship right now. Players, coaches, management. It's just a sad scene, bro. As a fan, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? So Joey's in my chat. Wait, Joey, you're a Vikings fan? I had no idea he's from Minnesota. I legit didn't know. Yeah, Jace, listen, F1, we're going to get to the Minnesota thing in a second because, like, I do want to talk about this very funny fucking news I saw this morning. Ah, shit. But listen, Formula One is going to be lit. Listen, Formula One's going to be lit, bro. Formula One's going to be lit, bro. Let me explain why. Okay. Let me pull up the F1, pull up the FP2 results on. Listen, here's the thing with Formula One, okay? First off, there's hella reliability issues. Hella reliability issues all across the grid. A lot of issues. Ivy with the 2 months, 3 month streak. I appreciate Ivy. Thank you so much. Go. Or the resub. There's just a lot going on. The Cadillacs had issues. Don't even get me started on what's going on with fucking Aston Martin. They may not. Aston may literally not start. There's going to be a lot of issues with power units and starts. I think Mercedes clearly. I was watching FP2 yesterday. I think Mercedes has the best race pace right now. Ivy with the 5 bomb. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And we do here when we get a 5. You got to rip a putt ski. Here's a problem. Is I have my fucking brace on, so I haven't hit a putt yet. But this, let me see. Guys, I'll talk about Ferrari in a sec. Hold on. I'll talk about Ferrari in a sec. Let me hit a putt. Bang. I didn't tear my ACL, bro. I didn't tear my ACL, chat. All right, listen. Here's why I think Saturday night might be fucking good. I have my brace on. It's a very good brace. Very expensive brace. Listen. Reliability issues up across the grid. Mercedes, I think, have the best race pace. Red Bull does look pretty decent. They didn't get a lot of great runs. In FP2, Max had some issues at the start of practice. Again, reliability is going to be really big the first couple of races. The Ferraris look good. And maybe great off the start, but it's Ferrari. Do you think they're going to do strategy and pit stops and all this other shit correctly? Fuck no. But here's the thing: is it may be chaos on this grid. We don't know who's going to get. We don't know who's going to qualify. And I'm telling you, there's going to be like 5 or 6 DNFs, bro, in this race. I legitimately won't be surprised if this race finishes with like 15, 16 cars on the track. I'm telling you, when they actually send these engines out and like, especially with new regs and they got to run a whole fucking like a whole race, I'm telling you, they're going to chalk some of these cars for reliability issues. Early in the season, they don't have a million parts, new regs. I'm telling you, this shit might get chaotic, bro. I watch a decent amount of Formula One. I was texting Rab about this. Bro, I'm telling you, this race might be chaos Saturday night. It may actually be chaos. I think Merc might have the best car, but they've also got an engine thing going on that. The biggest thing with the new, so they've changed the cars. The biggest thing I would say that you're going to see differently is DRS doesn't exist anymore. You're basically like, the cars have the ability to generate more speed via action with the front ring and the rear wing in designated aero sections of track now. But everyone can use it, not just if you're, less than a second behind someone. Everybody can. The problem is then what's going to happen now is the race basically turns into battery conservation. We don't know how it's going to work in a race scenario yet. Like, we don't know how corners are going to play out and all that stuff, But basically, like, you have to manage your battery in order to be able to use the aero effectively in good portions of the track. So we'll see. It could be boring. It could also be lit. We just don't know yet. Yeah, it's kind of like a boost. There's a couple other changes they made. There's some other slight changes, but that's like the biggest one. It's really the biggest change. But again, new power units, new regs. There's going to be a lot of bullshit going on the track first few races, and then obviously we got to go to the Middle East, and those races might not happen. And yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I just don't think battery focus should be as big of a focus as it will be this year. It absolutely will be, though. It absolutely will be. We got to see how it plays out in a race scenario. That's the one thing we haven't seen. I've seen enough now of these cars going on the track at testing, at both practices. We saw like people do go laps, and like if the battery's not fully charged, there's a big straight kind of in the middle of this track, and we saw Max like lifting and coasting in the corner going into that straight. Like, I'm telling you, the battery stuff is going to be really big. It is what it is. Hopefully the racing's good. Is Red Bull trash on the Red Bull? Might actually be decent. They had a number of issues in FP2. Max like stalled out trying to get onto the track in the beginning of FP2. Like, I think okay, see, from what I can tell, McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull are all in like good spots. The team that right now is the biggest clusterfuck, because nobody expects Cadillac to be good, they just entered the grid, is Aston Martin. That is the world's biggest clusterfuck right now. The middle of the pack, we just don't know, between like Haas and the Audi team and Racing Bulls and Williams and Alpine. Like, we just don't know where they're all going to, like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, Aston's even more of a clusterfuck than Spurs. It came out today that apparently, like, Adrian Newey came in pretty late in the process, but apparently, like, there's been a lot of issues at Honda for a while. There's a lot of, yeah, I'm talking about the story. It's crazy, Gringo. So we might put in some picks. There are some F1 picks that we can theoretically put in. But I'm going to wait until... I could put in some quality picks. We might as well just do double mores. I might as well just do double more. Oh, it can't be for two different teams. For two different teams. Fuck. Oh, pairs less for sure. I'm gonna have to think on this. But I think we do Russell more and then we... Because I think the Mercedes is good. But the thing is anything can happen in qualifying where you get fucked. I don't know, Gelato. They don't really feed that data into prize picks. It's on the front end of it. Anyway, enough Formula One. Let's talk about this real quick. Football's picking up. I know Raleigh and Joey are in the chat, but this is, you're gonna see a lot of NFL free agency kind of convo here in the next week and a half. But man, I mean, they had a quarterback. That's the funniest thing about this Viking situation. They had a quarterback. And they decided not to keep the quarterback. And every subsequent decision they made since then has just been like an absolute shit show since then. Because I don't see how Kyler Murray is fixing their issues. Yeah, but the problem with Kyler Murray is he's just like, we'll see. He's just an undersized quarterback. He's going to be a scramble merchant. I mean, hopefully he can figure it out with JJ, because I have him in a dynasty league. Like I need the Vikings to be good, or Jefferson is fucking dead, and like I'm screwed. You know what I'm saying? But I guess is what it is. Darnold wanted 40 million, but Darnold also just led his team pretty deep in the playoffs this year. So, you know. Like, I don't know. Like it worked out for Sam Darnold. It couldn't have worked out worse for the Vikings. They were just a non-factor last year. And yeah, I know they had some injuries, but everybody gets fucking injuries. Yeah, I'm aware he won the Super Bowl. Thank you. I fucking watched. I can't watch the Otani Grand Slam. It's going to KO my YouTube VOD. I think FaZe changed it. They go 0-2 this weekend. I don't think FaZe is going to make a change until after the major, if they do. But I do think that a bad major, I do think that they're just going to have to. They're not going to really have a choice, to be honest. I mean, we could talk about, because I didn't really watch the matches. You know, I wasn't here Saturday and Sunday. You know, last week. I mean, I think it's really the biggest talking point from last weekend. You know, was it that FaZe are really struggling at consistency, and I thought this series is just a hard watch. Like, Zach had a great event, and has now come back and has just been really, really bad now for like 3 games. Okay. In 04, and I hate to say it, like, you know, it's just he has not played good outside of a couple of series this year. And we're getting to the middle of the season, and this is just not good enough. It is what it is, bro. They need both those guys to step up. If you want to be good, all 4 players got to contribute. And right now, it feels like to me with FaZe that 2 of the players are solid. Although I do think Abuza, you know, this stage has not been all that great at times. He's been good, but I don't think he's been as incredible he was maybe Major 1, but he's still been good. I'm not saying that you know, that fucking Abuza sucks. I think Abuza's having go on. Now, obviously, like, Chris is having a fucking another good year. But at the end of the day, they cannot come out here and just play 2v4 in every series. And I just wonder where they're at confidence-wise. I just wonder where they're at mentally. Because they just are, they don't, I mean, we have 2 gears right now. And they're basically going out there and fighting with one hand. And so, I don't know, with this week with Optic and Thieves, they got to find a way to go 1-1. If they go 1-1 this week, it starts today. If they can get a result against Thieves, if you had to make a first team All-Star lineup today, who would you make it currently? Nep is tough. I would probably do Ant. Man, it's either Ant or Nep. I do 2 subs, 2 ARs, right? We could do 3 subs, 1 AR. Do I have to, Joey, is it 2 ARs or 2 and 2? Okay. I'll probably do Ant and a Pimp. I would do Merc. Wow, a 4th AR spot is tough. Because I have a feeling that like Rencor has pushed himself into that combo. The 4th AR spot is a total clusterfuck, chat. Yeah, Ernesto's in the convo. Dante played good, but hasn't played that great. Like, that 4th AR spot is like a crazy situation. The nuke is unfortunately just kind of on the outside looking in because I think Chris is having a really good year so far and has been very consistent. But that's what I would do, Joey. I would for sure it's Merc, Simp, Shotzi, and then I don't know. The 4th spot is literally a shit show. It could be Ernesto, it could be Rencor, it could be Abuza, it could be Dante. Like it could be like 5 different people at the moment. I think the sub duo is auto lock right now. I would want to put Nep. Well, that's the other takeaway, right? Where Gentlemates at as a team right now, because they also have kind of hit a little bit of a rough patch. Right? We saw their C9 loss. That was, you know, before I went on vacation. And then they looked really lifeless against Toronto. And I wonder mentally where they're at. I think Dante went on stream and did a classic Dante. And, you know, Dante's always going to be Dante, bro. He's got infinite confidence, you know? He's got a big ego. You guys know this. But I just wonder where Gentlemates is kind of at right now. I'm not worried about them scrimming pro teams and challengers teams. Like, they know how the game should be played at this point. I don't think that that's as much of an issue as you think it is. I think with Gentlemates is every team's going to slump at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Optigo played well all year. At some point, probably this stage, next stage, Major 4, like they're gonna slump. Everybody does. Like, it's how you get out of the slump, though. Eventually, you come in and everybody's played too much. They're mentally burned out. They're not focused. You're getting hard countered. It's like how you get out of that lull is really big. Now, I think that this G2 match tomorrow is going to be really big because I think they should be able to take care of Vancouver. Yeah, Optic did slump in January pre-major 1 too. They did lose a couple of series. Raleigh, Ben's been in slump since 1967. Well, you could say that Alabama right now is in a fucking slump. Because I have a feeling that it's going to be quite a few years until Bama is fucking relevant post-fucking Saban. Don't say damn. I mean, Raleigh stepped into that one, bro. He's calling me since 1967, like, brother. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, he set himself up for that one. We had 0. We lost to we lost to both teams. We lost to 2 good teams, man. Generationally, I don't know how we didn't fucking win more than 0. We had a generational defense that couldn't figure it out. The tragedy, Raleigh. Everybody on defense is going to get drafted top 5 in this fucking draft. Riley, you know that if OSU played Bama, you were going to get your ass kicked this year, brother. You know if OSU played Bama, that shit was not going to be close. Gun to your head right now. If Bama played OSU this year, and the line was 7.5. 7.5. You think you guys are covering? Or you think we think you win that plus 7.5? I don't think so. I watch plenty of Bama games, bro. Okay. Anyway, getting back on the topic for Gentlemates, I think the key stretch is really going to be at the end of the split. FaZe will be really desperate potentially on this match. Thieves and Optic. They're 3-2 right now. I think they're going to be able to theoretically get a top 6 seed or top 5 seed rather. But could they slump a little bit, get some upsets in here? And maybe, yeah, I like Dire Straits. maybe they get into some issue of having to play the play-in. I don't know. Well, this will be a big weekend for general mates. And then do you guys just point about the snaking and stuff? I thought Vios had a pretty good tweet. I've never really seen like a general manager for a team to kind of go out and talk about this shit. Like normally it's sort of a bit of a faux pas to sort of talk about the GA stuff from a front office perspective. But you know, listen, I love Dante, but it's you know, it's time, it's now been plenty of time to have the convo, bro. Dante is the Pepe of the CDL, bro. Does everyone agree with that one? Dante's the Pepe of the CDL, bro. Okay. Dante's the Pepe of the CDL. It's what it is. He's just a gritty, dirty player. And you know, now back-to-back years, he's got his team GA'd, or gotten himself blacklisted for a week. So again, I'm curious to see how General Mates plays this weekend. Them and FaZe, the two teams that I'm like the most curious to see where they're at. I think like looking out at the standings for the stage, Optic obviously 6-0. They're already in the sort of going to be in that top 8. Thieves are looking pretty good. But as you can see, it's still a mess around here. I think that the Boston win over FaZe is big because FaZe is actually in real danger if they really slump, but theoretically potentially not making this event. Yeah, like they would have to. I want to just kind of show you like the situation they're in because the Boston lost kills are head to head. They haven't played C9 yet. They 3-0'd Vancouver. They played C9 last match of the split, and they really struggled down the stretch. Like that C9 game might end up being a play to get the play-in game. So again, I think FaZe, if they can figure out how to go, if I'm FaZe, realistically, if they can figure out how to go like 3-2 over the stretch, it is what it is. They can go 3-2 or better. 2-3 would not be ideal. C9 they should beat. Carolina theoretically. They have more talent than Carolina. They should beat. They got to figure out how to win one of these 3 games. But if they can't, the Raiders just released Gino. I mean, that's not really a surprise, though. They're going to move on from Gino after the season. They just got to eat a lot of money on that contract, but it is what it is. The Raiders are... Really, guys, the deal with FaZe is this, bro. Okay? I think that they have... The way their team issue is right now, I think Chris is having a good year. We knew Chris is fucking good. I think Abusa, again, I think Abusa is going to be in that, for a while now, is going to be in that top AR convo. Like he is... I think Jordan is going to be in that top AR convo now for a while. The problem is that Zach has kind of always been... Even when he was on Thieves, he was always an X-Factor player. Zach was never, even when he was on Thieves, was never like a premier, went out and just cooked everybody every series player. Like he plays a very good role on a good team. He's a type of player you need on a championship team. Hard worker, S&D nerd, but he's never going to come out and consistently like bomb slay people. Like the problem is, unfortunately, you know, and I think this is a collective fault, right? Because I see a lot of finger pointing on, you know, on social media and in Twitch clips, oh, it's Kayson's fault, it's Sim's fault. It's the group's fault, bro. Okay? It is the group's fault. Okay? It's the group's fault. Because I think, and it's hindsight, but, you know, they'd probably be in a better spot. They had Nep instead of 04. But at the end of the day, listen, you gotta perform in the league. And these numbers are not good enough. These numbers are not good enough. And I think if Jovan doesn't step up, and they go to this event, either, you know, and they don't place, I think they'd have to place realistically top 4 or higher. So I think hold off a change, but I think at this point, top 6 or worse, they probably look to upgrade. And then to actually not, there's actually like a good, it's actually like a good SMG market right now. Low-key, I actually think like, they could obviously try a Luca, theoretically. But I don't know. Luca's not like an entry sub. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Zach could do it either. So they, you know. What do I think happened with the Nep situation? I think if I had to have a guess as to how he didn't end up on this team, is with probably a combination of Zuma said Kayson didn't tell them who to pick up. So here's kind of, let me give you a window into like how a team like this makes a change. Like last offseason, okay? Hopefully this gives you guys a context on how this works. I'm not saying that like it 100% played out this way, but I've been around like in these situations too much that I kind of know how it works in every team. Because every team's a little bit different, but like FaZe are a little bit more of an old school team. And this is kind of how it works on an old school team. Okay. The only thing the ownership does is negotiate buyouts, like help red team the decisions by like, you know what I'm saying? By saying like, well, what if we, you know, would, you know, just kind of go through all the motions and then like hard veto anybody. And they'll generally back whatever the coaching staff combo players want to do with the roster change. So like, is it possible that it was a combo situation where like ownership had some thoughts on Nep, players they were going to pick up and former teammates and Abuzu and 04 thoughts on Nep? Maybe. I don't know for a fact, but it may be a combination of both those things, you know? I don't think like it's blame one or the other. I don't think it's Sim's fault or Kayson's fault. You know what I'm saying? I just think collectively they figured, okay, well, we have enough slang. 04's a, you know, hard-working sub, had decent numbers last year, can still get better. Let's go down that path instead of going with probably a bit more top-end in Nep. And the problem is that I didn't think 04 played that bad last year. Like, he was a good player last year. They made a fucking gazillion finals. If he was dropping these numbers right now, they'd be way more chilling. If he was going out, listen, I'm going to be honest, guys. Not everybody's going to drop a 1-2 on a team. We saw FaZe drop a 1-2 and 1-1s across the board for fucking 6 years. And doesn't mean they stack championships. If 04 was doing this now where he's dropping a 0.98, they'd probably not be 2 in fucking a million right now. You know what I'm saying? The problem is his numbers have regressed. From dropping a 0.98 to low 0.9s is a huge fucking miss. So, I listen, I still think 04 can figure it out, but the problem is now he's got no more rope. At the end of the day, a team like FaZe will be patient because points-wise, standing-wise, like they're not in a position where they're anywhere close to the drop zone. You know what I'm saying? But I think 04's the rope is not there anymore. Like he's got to show up, or they're going to look to make a change. Probably after this event. His engagements are not low, actually. The problem with his, the problem of, I'll say this, the biggest problem for right now is his engagements look low, but that's not the issue. He's not shooting his fucking gun. He's just sprinting into death. And it's so obvious if you watch him play Overload. Like, I think Overload is like the biggest offender of this. Hardpoint is some bad shit too. But watching him play Overload right now actually annoys the fuck out of me. They're so bad on Den right now. I think because he literally just throws his life away in like every offensive opportunity. And then they just now have picked up the ball after a 3 dead. They have literally no chance. So. I wouldn't say it's necessarily the case, Ellis. I think at the moment, watching them play, like, I think Zach is, again, to continue my thoughts, I think Zach, again, is an X Factor player. To expect Zach to consistently drop 1-2s on his team, that's not the issue. The way this team, I think, was set up is they had Simp and Abuz to be very consistent. 0-4 to come out and go anywhere from like a 0.97 to like a fuck you series. And Zach to be able to do the dirty work, and they would just win a majority of their series. And yeah, maybe this comp is sometimes going to lead to them getting, you know, blown away by an optic, but I don't think that there were going to be infinite moves they could have made in the offseason to kind of match that. The problem is, I think now they just don't have enough fucking gunny. And I think the easiest change they're going to make is probably moving on from 0-4 after the split, assuming they don't play better. So, how the fuck are they not winning S&Ds? I don't know how 2 players that play search every day have fucking 0.9s. I know they play a lot of 2s and 3s, but like, bruh. This is now a sample size of the whole season, by the way. That one's confused me. This is the most confusing one. I don't know what to say about this one. It's very odd. I know it's a weird search game too. It's basically sucking TDM sometimes. Like S&D in this game is just, it's not it. But like, these guys play enough that they shouldn't be dropping 0.9s in S&D. S&D being ass in this game, I get, but like, bruh. The problem is, Ant and Chris can't team together. The only way those two team together is if they had like a Dan Ghosty on their team. They need, or like a Sam LaRue. They need like a human UAV AR. Because Kyler is basically a human UAV sub. And like neither of them are like real, like absolute like yappers in like respawns. They would need an AR to like really handle a decent amount of that. Otherwise, they'd be really inconsistent. They would still be good, but I think there would be times where the communication would get away from them. It'd be kind of like Thieves last year, where I just think the communication would be like very inconsistent. It's not to say they wouldn't be good. I just don't think that's like the best version of the team you can make. It would be a nasty sub duo though. But like, I don't know why you always look for upgrades on Optic. Like they don't need to do anything right now. The biggest thing, if I'm an Optic fan right now, I'm going to tell you what I think the biggest thing for an Optic fan is right now. Everybody's watching their VOD, bro. The biggest thing for Optic is making sure that we're constantly evolving how we play every week, because people watch the team practice every day. I don't think people can replicate necessarily what they do on the map and respawns easily. But the S&Ds are an area where they can go to this event and get kind of hard red, and that could put them into some issues in these series. But right now, if you're an Optic fan, it's just like, they just got to stay like hungry. They stay hungry, I think they're making finals and probably winning this event. Redeem with the 2 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Because you guys have watched enough COD, bro. They're in the category with like, you know, what we've seen out of like, say, Atlanta FaZe over the years. Like, I'm not worried about them making it to Sunday. It's just like, you want to make sure you're number 1 team on Sunday, because you could do all of this online, then you go to the event and you're number 2 team on Sunday, and then it's another second, and you're like, fuck, like, it just, so it's, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's always a tough thing, you know? They don't stream S&D, I know, but they also play matches in the CDL, and there's going to be 11 online. There's going to be a lot of tape on all the teams. I look at YouTube chat, Alexander. What? Nobody's typed anything in the YouTube chat for a fucking minute. Can legit say that for everybody? I mean, oh, I sorry, you had a super chat. Cap more map 1, Nissim more map 1, Super more map 2, the 279 Canadian. Who does fucking Vancouver play? Cloud9? Here's the problem with putting US currency on Capsule. You hit a golf 225x yesterday? Did you actually? Wait, Rick sent me a screenshot. Guys, the problem with putting any US currency on Cap is that he is a very... He is like... Cap will give you everything from a double neg to like a takeover. He is like the purest of like an absolute uncertainty when it comes to Call of Duty. So I'm like, I think you could play that, but I just am someone that generally likes to stay away from Cap unless I get a feel for maps and situations that he's consistent, because he's just like, he has always been an up and down player. Again, he could take over maps, but he can also go double negative. So. Is KOI really good? I think KOI is good, but to your point, I do think that we're going to see teams properly play this team in fucking vetoes. The Falcons might not because they love fucking Den too. But everybody's got to stop playing Toronto on their best shit. Okay? Can we stop playing Toronto on their best maps? I don't know why. I feel like we externally are much more in tune with that. I've talked with Joe DeLuca about this. And it's not like an elitist thing. I just think we're just able to just have a more external view because we don't sit there and like scrims every day. That like teams just... I think I'm convinced now on the CDL that teams kind of weigh, I think, like how scrims go against teams. Sometimes I think a little bit too much in vetoes. And they go in the expense of playing teams on like maps that they were good at with their fucking old team. Or they're just clearly good at. So it's like, I just think teams are going to have to stay away from... Den Overload was a good map for Toronto, has been all year. Up until this slump where they were losing a million series. The S&D was also a go-to for them. But yeah, I mean, I think this 9 stretch is good. And it's not like they beat shitty teams. These are all 3 like... Yep, there's Joe in the chat. Joe and I have talked about this, bro. I'm team like people have been doing this now for a long time. And I feel like, and I get it, because they have so much data in practice and you have a tendency and want to like apply that data to how you decide to do vetoes. But I've started to realize in probably the last few years is like, every team is like, wow, we're not translating practice to matches. And then you start to realize that like, it's almost 2 different games. And I feel like this year in particular, really enough, watching matches this year and watching practice is like almost as worse as it's ever been. And maybe the worst I've ever seen as far as like almost 2 different games getting played. Bro, the pace of what happens on the map in scrims right now, especially in Overload compared to like an actual match, is fucking crazy. It's actually nuts. It's always been bad. It's always been bad, chat. But like, I feel like it's worse this year. I could be tripping though. Anyway, I think Toronto are decent now. I think what Kips is definitely a lot more pace on the team. And so when you look at kind of Toronto's stretch here, I think this Falcons match tomorrow will be really interesting. And then they got Boston, who I'm not really sure what their deal is. There's a good way that I could see Toronto getting some momentum going to the UK. And like, I won't be surprised if Toronto's got a real chance to make top 4 at Major 2. I will not be surprised. Ludus, the problem is I just think I don't. Here's the thing, guys, with FaZe, and this is a crazy stat. In fact, JB said the same thing about Overload. I mean, it's. Did you watch it? It's just so clear. FaZe in the history of their team, FaZe Vegas, have never made a midseason roster change. Okay, we've been having the CDL since 2019, 2020. I want you to think about how many years that is. They have never. They have zero midseason roster changes. Zero. Gabs, you know I'm not going to say that. You're trying to catch me slipping. Try and catch me slipping. Okay, guys. As I've said before, if you link me tweets from that account, I am not going to click on them. So just in the future, I'm not engaging with that content. As I said before, I have no problem with clip content. I have a problem with extremely misleading clip content. Okay? I don't give a fuck if people clip my account or other, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. As long as they give the right context and it's good content, I don't give a shit. But if you're just gonna like post very misleading like content with crazy captions that don't match what's in the clip, like, you're just a bad person. Respectfully. It's a bad person. I haven't done my pickups yet. No, I didn't tear my ACL. My ACL is fine, bro. One second, chat. This track, I'm doing a sec. Hold on. I need to send this text real quick. I need to send this order. I didn't get a chance to go to the grocery store, so I need to get a few things. UFC White House card gets announced tomorrow. Hopefully it's good. Guys, I'll watch this track in a sec. Hold on. Oh, I gotta put my ice pack on in a sec. Too. Uh-oh. The hook on the song. Oh, I guess it's kind of the bridge. It's kind of the bridge. It really. Yeah, it is the bridge in the song. I'll just say. It's technically a bridge. White House be tweeting crazy shit all the time. They're just trolling, bro. Ignore them. That account is just a troll fucking account at this point, which is sad, but like, that's literally the whole like point of the content. I see no reason for me to interact with troll content though. Like, that's literally the whole point. They just tweet crazy shit out of there on purpose. Like, I don't lose too much full about it because like, it's just a bunch of Twitter interns just being told just fucking do crazy shit. It's beyond trolling, but like, us complaining about it is going to do nothing about it. I know it sounds like really defeatist, but like, it's literally going to do nothing about it. So I just don't like, at this point, I don't lose too much full about shit like that. How's the ankle? I don't have an ankle issue. My knee, it's just a sprain. I'm fine. Thoughts on Spurs being the only team to beat OKC and Detroit twice this year, but then they've lost to the Knicks every time they play them. Explain that one to me. I don't know. Basketball's crazy, bro. Basketball's crazy, bro. I'm really fucking excited for the NBA playoffs, bro. It's gonna be fucking cinema, honestly. The Knicks are so bad, bro. What? How are the Knicks bad? Explain that one to me. How are the Knicks bad? Because they lost to the Mavs. The only teams they lost to, but okay, the Pacers lost is bad. They lost to the Pistons twice and the Cavs and the Thunder. You mean the Rockets, the Sixers, the Celtics, the Nuggets, the Lakers, Sixers again. They beat the Spurs the other night. Yeah, we have a bad matchup against Detroit. We had a pretty good chance to beat the fucking Thunder the other night. Like, they're good. The Knicks are good. The one team I don't want to play though in the playoffs, I'm going to say this right now, is this team. I do not want to play this team in the playoffs right now. I'm really, really hoping that it doesn't break our way. The Knicks are mid while being 40-20. Okay. All right. Knicks are mid 40-23. Okay. Okay. All right. Because we know what the definition of mid is. Okay. All right. All right. A little bit of grocery order in. I'm gonna go to I just put in a GoPuff order. I'm gonna get groceries tomorrow. I think I was gonna go today, but it didn't work out. All right, chat. Let's talk about it. You guys want my react? Listen, I'm gonna say this off the offset. I think this is the best. The Rafi diss track was good, but this one might be better, bro. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought Bolo was good on this, but I think Gersh doing the Benny the Butcher shit on this is actually like, I think Gersh the Butcher, Gersh being a fucking Griselda, like, I don't know, he might have cooked on this one. And here's the thing, guys. I told Gersh this. He's got to be real careful with these, because I think inevitably there's going to be some beef with Bush. And if he gets in beef with Bush, I have a feeling that they may actually shoot back. So I really like these diss tracks, but so far they've been shooting at, you know, Paulie and fucking Rafi and me, and we're not exactly going to sit there with the pen and, you know, and fight back. But I think eventually he may lob some bombs at the direction of someone that, you know, may actually cook. So let's lock in this. Let's see.
How they switch up is crazy. He was gassing us up in the DMs. He's been a stallion before. Doesn't say a word, just dips. All I heard was
DM.
Left the channel.
Listen, they have other shooters at fucking over at Barstool, is all I'm saying, bro. They got other shooters over at Barstool. Yeah, Roan's definitely got bars. No, for sure. Come on. Chat, wait, this guy, wait. How? First off, where are we getting like 1950s footage of the George Washington fucking bridge? We're like, hold up, like off the rip of this, like we're opening our footage from like the 1950s of the George Washington bridge. What in the fuck ass footage is this? It's kind of funny to see because this bridge is both not changed and changed since then. But holy fuck. Guy's never been to NJ in my life. You talking about me, Spinna? You talking about me? Spencer talking about me because that's just Gersh. Yeah, I don't think Gersh has ever been to fucking Jersey. I don't think Gersh has ever stepped foot in that state.
They know Bolo cranky. I'm gonna do little polish dirty. Shawty said she want a blanket, so I bought a polish jersey. It's like I bought it, then I burnt it, cause you wasted all our time. Just another Wash X Pro. Get your ass in line. Left the guys with 15 minutes. You a fucking bitch. Put the fries inside the fucking bag, cause Polly, you some shit. I heard Polly fell down them stairs and Polly canceled scrim. He too soft to hang out with the sharks. He probably can't even swim. Okay, BENJ, keep on yapping.
Bully's always got some basic bars. I don't know why I'm catching strays in this video though. The fuck did I do?
But don't be mad, we on your ass. Talking about stallions, this and that. Love to talk, but never listen back. Call you Mr. Yap. I'm just talking for the fucking chat, cause you don't shut the fuck up in your life, and now I'm getting back.
It just annoys me. Bolo's just sitting here like a fucking bruh. Nah, Bolo's sitting here just pushing proppy, bro. It's crazy. Bolo's just sitting here just pushing absolute flank chat fucking propaganda in this fucking video, bro. Absolute, not even factual, just fear on flank fucking proppy, bro. Maybe because I called them a fucking content or community team. I mean, yeah, but that was facts though. Like what?
Smoke pilot, smoke BENJ, now I'm smoking scrap. Next time you in gang, don't think about the flame, just hit your fucking over.
Wait, what was this tweet?
Pilot, smoke BENJ, now I'm smoking scrap. Next time
Oh, this is about the flank.
don't think about the flame, just hit your fucking over. I need 29, you better tell Hydra hit the fucking hill. I just slammed 100 on you over. No, I'm not sober.
I gotta teach Ball to use more or less, but that's, you know, we guys, more or less over here, more or less, you know.
Hostess at the hand we was dealt. You go to church, but with these words you getting dragged into hell. You tangled in my lyrics, caught around the
I'm telling you, Gersh doing a Griselda flow is like, that's his best shit. I know Gersh is like, I probably gonna want to have like multiple, you know what I'm saying? But like, this is the best thing. This is the best bars I've ever heard Gersh drop. Do you guys agree? This is really the best. This is the best I've heard Gersh flow. Also, I actually think they did a much better job mastering this song than the last one.
bars. Switch the ATB to BTA. I'm grabbing the belt. Ooh, fast bitch.
That's like, I agree. Jason's a good bar. That's a good bar.
But with these words you getting dragged into hell. You tangled in my lyrics, caught around the bars. Switch the ATB to BTA. I'm grabbing the belt. Ooh, fat ass bitch. I'm fat too, so I can't be a hater. But you not alien, so why you built like Space Invaders? Your new team.
Oh, bro. I'm telling you, Gersh fucking cooked. Does anyone know if Champs single day tickets were on sale already? They have not. They have not. Your 4-day passes are on sale right now. I wouldn't wait and get a 4-day. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to go for multiple days, the 4 days is going to be probably your best option. But I assume at some point single days will go on sale. I don't know when, but they usually do for Champs at some point.
Digging ass like O-line on the Oakland Raiders. The Bulldog fucking slammed him. Pussy, you could never be a stallion. He moved like Alyssa Lou. We focused on medallions.
I mean, I gotta say that bar is good. Listen, the Alyssa Lou bar is like it's the ATB to BTA bar is like levels, but like sometimes this bar just gotta be simple, bro. You don't gotta go out here and just do like some Kendrick shit. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes a simple bar just fucking does it. You know?
3x the way his ego fucking massive. BENJ, you a fucking fraud. Really ass at golf. Hope his team speak muted.
Gersh, chow me for any amount of money in golf, bro. Gersh, I will chow Gersh for any amount of money in golf. Any amount of money.
Every fucking
The Alyssa Lou shit, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, the golf stream is crazy. I will say no. Nah, chat. Like I said, Bolo has done some good diss tracks. The Rafi one last year was really good. This was probably the best one they've done. This one was probably the best one they've done. Like from like a quality standpoint, the beat switch, like the mastering was also really good in this for the most part.
But you not alien, so why you built like Space Invaders? Your new team digging ass like O-line on.
Like it's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like it's pretty good. This is 1 or 2. This might be 1, bro. This one actually might be 1, bro. DM Conway the Machine to join in. That'd be crazy if they get. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they can afford Conway though. I don't think he does free features. I see he's trying to make some coin. That would be insane though. Boston, who do you think they are? Do you think fucking Gershon Bolo or Kendrick, bro? Like what? It's pretty. It's for. Listen, for a fucking. For a COD diss track, it's pretty fucking good. I'm surprised they even post this on YouTube though. They post it on YouTube? I think they did. Just on Twitter, right? That was my ACL. I don't have an ACL. My ACL's fine. It's the knee strain. Speaking of, hold on, chat. Quick commercial break. I need to put my ice pack on. Be right back. Give me a second. I gotta put my ice pack on, bro. Be careful, Gramps. What the fuck? I'm fine, chat. Using an ice pack in 2026? No, I'm just smart. It's called fucking recovery, bro. What? Trader Hormuz cheese? What do you mean? Is why I slam peptides? Yeah. Oh, now we're talking about, okay, I see. Now we're just calling me Gramps. Okay. He is for recovery? Yeah, I know, but my fucking knee is swollen. You think he's fixing that? No. Ice. My knee is pretty swollen, bro. Icing is not right here? Yeah, once the swelling is down, sure. But my shit is still swollen, bro. Drink 11 beers, I won't feel it? Yeah, but my knee will still be swollen. Not gonna fix the issue. I'm using crutches? No, I have a brace. Although I probably should get a. I probably for a couple days should have been using crutches, but let me put this on once. Yeah, nice ice pack, bro. You literally don't use ice in the field anymore. I mean, it's not a full. It's like a. Like literally like one of those like, what's good, Jay? What's good, Mr. J? Welcome back. I appreciate it, Jay. Thank you so much for the good, Chaza. Listen, until I get the swelling down, you gotta ice it every couple of hours. I'll literally, I guarantee I'll be fine by early next week, bro. I have literally zero pain right now. My ACL is not hurt. What? Does anyone provide health insurance? No. Building on Fifth Ave? What do you mean? Oh, Tottenham is way more chalked than I am. All right, what do we want to do? Let me do a little bit of a Reddit read. What time is it? We got time till do usual shit. If fucking Jonathan Vegas is ready 1 over, nice. Sim versus Hydra head to head simply is 19 to 12. They both got pretty good careers. Yeah, I tailed Tommy 6-pick. Who knows, bro? Am I hit? Am I not? I don't know. We'll see what happens. He's getting slammed by G2. Well, I will say that I did put a prize pick in. I did do a few team prize picks yesterday. You guys are going to like these. You're going to be like, what the fuck? One second. I put 2 team picks in. I picked I picked GT to be FaZe. That was pretty easy. I knew exactly FaZe. FaZe, yes, in a bad spot. But I also picked C9 to be Vancouver today. I put 20 to win 60. Because the odds are just too good, bro. The odds are just too good. What Tommy tweet? Yeah, I think Tommy could win. Bro, Tommy, Chris. Nah, this team, listen. Tommy, Chris, Clay, and like any fourth. Yeah, no, they could have won a ring. Like prime Clay, obviously. I'm talking about like, you know. The team, the team would like, bro. Depending on the era, that's when you would have like a replays or cap or like a draws. Like they, like instead of saying like the fourth is, as long as the fourth is a good fit, I think they would have been good. No, I haven't, Johnny. That's actually it's very interesting, bro. I haven't talked about that. I haven't talked about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that eventually Activision had enough and C indeed goes to Hope. This is kind of how it goes. Eventually that was going to happen. But yeah, RIP Hope, man. RIP Hope, man. Did the breaking point games? I didn't even see. Did I win fucking fantasy last week? I actually have no idea. Yeah, I mean, he could go down a different path, Riley, to your point, but I don't know if he's willing to do that. Oh, I destroyed Chris last week. Yeah, I think Scrap, Super, Hydra, and Exnit. My team is with Exnit playing the way he's playing right now. I think is definitely helping my team. I'm in clear first right now. 0-3, Tomas and Patty P. Yeah, I think 0-4 and Mamba are kind of dragging Tom's team right down right now. And then for Pat, yeah, I mean, Trace and Neptune's not like super frying. What's Sam's team? Oh, yeah, I remember Sam's team, yeah. What's Don's team? Yeah, Don's got 2 Optic players, that's probably why. And MC, yeah. What's Nub got? Kibbs, Rencor, Shotzi, and SC, yeah. Byron's actually giving him a good floor. But I think my team, listen, I think my team's the best team, though. You guys would agree, though. Right now, I don't know what's going to happen when we go to LAN, but right now for this online thing, I think I'm going to get first seed, bro. I think I have like Thieves are frying right now. Miami look good. Exnit is the best Exnit's ever played his fucking career. Like, my team's chilling. Yeah, I got Spar back pocket on the bench too. Actually, does anyone have Capsule? Nah, because Vancouver kind of suck. I should add Spart, but for who though? They don't play today, so there's no point in me moving him in. They don't. He hasn't played today. They play C9 tomorrow. I'll move Super out tomorrow and put Spart in. You know what I'm saying? When's the best time to buy Major 3 tickets? Just for Sunday, as soon as possible. I wouldn't wait. For Major 3, I wouldn't wait. As soon as you can get them, they're not going to get any cheaper. So, not really waiting on anything. Thoughts on Thieves' struggles? Thieves are struggling? That's news to me. They're 4-1. Where are Thieves struggling? Explain that one to me. I mean, they lost to Optic, but, you know. I don't think Thieves are struggling. They played fine this split so far. Optic might just be the clear #1 team right now. Like, I don't like outside this series. I don't think Thieves have been that bad. They haven't played anybody, but yeah, I mean, like, this will be an interesting stretch. FaZe in Miami, Falcons G2, Gelmates, like, yeah, but I think Thieves ball is pretty good. I'll be honest, chat. There have been a lot of teams over the history of COD that lose 1 or 2 maps of scrim. You just don't see it because those teams don't scrim. What Optic have done in practice is not like unprecedented level of domination. If they can translate that to actually dominating 3 stages in a row in champs, EWC, and winning 5 events and winning out the rest of the season, then yeah, no one's done that before. But they've looked like we've seen a lot of top teams in practice over the years. The thing with Optics is going to be doing that on Sunday. What's good, Moss? Anyway. You guys want to play the games and then we can get into individual matches? All right, I'll start career path. Thieves. I mean, this is fucking draws or what? Okay, that was the easiest one of all time. Holy fuck. S&D KD last year. Abe didn't play that much. I'm going to say it's probably this. Actually, did Toronto play good in S&D with Abe? I don't remember. What do you guys think? Do we think Kids is 4 or 5? I'm going to go Kids is 4. What do you guys think about this order? I'm gonna send it. I was just Cammy and Abe swap? Okay. I mean, fair enough. I mean, I always get these in 2. I'm actually like pretty good at this shit. Player guesser. All right, let's do Reese. American younger player, 0 wins, 0 trophies. Never teamed a Reese. Hasn't been on either of these teams. So it's probably a rookie in the league right now, would be my guess. Could be a Vancouver player. Let's see if I'm right about Vancouver now. It's not someone on Carolina. It's not someone on Boston. Maybe it's not a rookie. Vancouver is not listed here. So it could be from someone, or Vancouver is listed. Sorry. Anyone who's on Vancouver was on Seattle. Anyone who's on Seattle won. It also kind of eliminates phase 2, to be honest. Because 04 and Abuza, well, Abuza's also not American. You know, Abuza's not American, you know? Could be, well, it can't be anybody on Falcons because, again, American. You guys think it's Nissim? I mean, that's the only person I can think of, bro. No. Who the fuck is this? A younger player. So again. Wow. It can't be Lunars. Well, hold on. It's LAG, not Gentlemates. It's LAG. It could be someone. Can't be anybody in C9 New York. No, it can't be anybody in C9. It can't be anyone in C9. I'm actually low-key stumped. Like, we could just start shooting people. Because I don't know. I don't know. No, it has to be an American. It can't be Miami. Because who on Miami is like. No, it can't be 04. He was on Vancouver. It can't be Joey D because he wasn't, because Toronto. Who are the two teams missing? Paris is missing. FaZe is missing, but anyone on FaZe wouldn't check the box on this. Can't be Awake, Boston. Oh, Johnny, it could low-key be Oh, Johnny. Wasn't he on? Oh, yeah, because it wouldn't, he was on, okay, that's what I thought. The Gentlemates thing was LAGM. Oh, that's tough, though. That was a tough one. That was a hard one, chat. Not gonna lie, that was a hard one. Gridlock. Champs MVP, team with King of Body in the CDL. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so a couple of these are a one. This is one. This is one. This could be literally anybody. This has to be Alec, right? This has to be Alec here, right? We guys agree? Am I crazy? This has to be Alec, right? Or is it Preston? Preston, when did Preston team with King of Body? Oh, when he was technically on. No, this one could be two. This one's harder. Hold on. Okay, hold on. This is where it gets tough because this is easy. This is a little bit harder. This is the hardest one. Whose team with King of Body has 10 event wins? I don't know. Does Alec have 10 wins? I mean, it has to be Alec. There's literally nobody else it could be. Okay. And this has to be Preston. This has to be Kiz. Okay, those are like the three hardest ones. Okay. LAG mates, at least 25 years old. Dill's more than 25, right? Well, it's not LAG mates, sorry. That's Paris Gentlemates now. It's gotta be from the last team. I mean, this could just be Caesar. Yeah, okay. At least 10 event wins and 25. I'll put fucking D Barlow. Put fucking Scumper Jumper here. Team of King of Body in the CDL and US. Who else was on their fucking Falcons team last year? Oh my god, who else on their fucking holy fuck, who else is on their team last year? Who was their fucking fourth? I don't know, I'm trying to remember. Oh, fucking Tej. He picked him up at the end of the year. Champs MVP. I mean, it's clay and formal. I could just fucking do any, bro. Actually, wait, since 2015, hold up. The clay one was, how long ago was fucking... I could just do Ant. I could just do fucking Ant. Yeah. Yeah, getting these three was the hardest one in that order. Okay. I was like, bruh. This was a hard one. This was a hard one. No, this is a good puzzle. Could be, there's multiple answers for these two. It was easy. We could have done anybody. This one's easy too. Hello. Yeah, they for the Connor. They went so many fucking players last year. My ACL's fine, chat. I don't have an ACL injury. My ACL's fine, chat. Making home run parlays in the World Baseball Classic, that's degen shit. I'll have to tell you, Rad. Dylan Brooks got arrested early Friday morning on suspicion of a DUI. Telluride was elite. I mean, normally. It was good. I had a good experience, but they could have had more snow. The town was awesome, though. The town was good. The mountain was just, it could have been better, but it's not. They don't really have control over that. Guys, I'll be fine, bro, in a couple days. Once I get the swelling down, I'll be fine. I think the swelling will literally be down in 48 hours. I think I'm going to be honest, I think I'll be fine by Monday. I think I'll literally be fine by Monday, chat. It's not that bad. I literally just have an ice pack on. All right, do you want to do picks, chat? Let's check back in with our fucking display. Jonathan Vegas is 1 over. We kind of need him to be... Well, it's a par 72, right? Yeah, so right now he'd push. I think there's a lot of trouble in the back nine, so I think we might be chilling. We also have Scotty Less on the greens and regulation, which we're right now... like average go right now. Yeah, no, it's about what I expected. It's gonna get harder though. It's going to get harder during the day. I think we might be chilling with this 2-pick. Hey, Skur FPS with the 5-bomb. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. When we get a 5-bomb out here, we got to hit a putt. I'm 1 for 1 on the day. Ben, Nissim, me, my buddies go to who's selling the business. I mean, what's the deal with the business? They have food and bev. What's the location? How much do they charge? I think you'll probably make money off of the Sims, but you got to understand like the business and where they're at. The pricing and the market. I think you can make money. The problem with the sim business, though, is if it's older sims and you got to spend capex to upgrade the sims to generate more audience, then, you know, that's a lot of money you're going to have to invest. Oh, let's see it, chat. I mean, it's like I never left, bro. Yeah, food and bev is real opportunity. I've been gone to the sim a lot. I'm telling you, like, food and bev is so big. It doesn't need to be crazy. You don't need like massive meals, but good snack options, a lot of alcohol options is like, It's gonna be like good margin stuff, especially when you buy on bulk. The problem is Sims are expensive. So if they've got shit older Sims, they don't got like newer tech, newer trackmans. The mats aren't that good. The screens aren't that good. Like the upkeep in that on a Sim is kind of where there's a bunch of issues. The surface gets torn up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not like a driving range where you can live with the mats being shitty. There's so much competition in the Sim market that like people are just gonna go to Sims with better quality. I would say, like, having played a lot of Sims, snacks are really good, but like small, like shareable sides are a good premium. So like fries, you want to go to X Golf, the pretzel is good. Like good, easy finger food. Like you don't need to serve burgers. You don't need to serve like these full entrees unless you've got like a really good kitchen model that works. But like when I go to Sims, I'm just looking for good, easy finger food. Because once you start adding a kitchen, then that's where your margins are fucked. The other thing I would understand, Core, is what are their league situations? Did they get a percentage of any leagues? How often the leagues run? Because the league model was also going to bring a lot of front end revenue. It may not necessarily bring you consistent revenue because I don't know how like the CBA on like the leagues versus like if somebody actually played every week, like how much money you're losing, but it's going to give you like a really good cash flow like during like certain periods of the year. Anyway, it could be good. I don't know all the economics though. But it's a desirable location. Like people are always, especially where you're at, Core, because like golf season's so short in Toronto. Like I'm sure, like Core, is it around where you live? I know where you live. Like on that side of town, is that like where it is, or is it like a little bit? Because you're in the absolute Burby situation. Like you're not in the mix. I haven't talked that much about FaZe yet. How weird does it get if they lose to Optic and Thieves? They gotta, you know. They gotta win some games, bro. They can't let it come down to beating C9. No, this is just data golf. This is a W website. If you do any kind of love golf, this is like the best website. They just show you the best shit. I mean, I'm not surprised with the split on this. Anyway, enough of that shit. Let's get into prize picks for the matches. Let me open up another sheet real quick. Open up this sheet. Zero busy area than W. Top 30 albums this weekend? Fuck, that's gonna be hard. Top 30 albums is gonna be tough. Let me set this up, chat. It takes fucking forever. Any tips to get better sleep? I'm the last person to ask about that. Probably don't eat too late. Take magnesium. Hydrate. Probably all the normal shit you would think. Like be healthy. All right, let's get into matches. We're gonna also make a slip. Are there any promos going on right now? No. Probably make a 3 or 4 pick chat. Let's get into it. We got 3 matches today. I think the last 2 are, this is actually a good day, chat. This is a good day. If you're curious who's on the flank tonight, tonight's episode is me, Tom, Sam, Chris, and Dill. So I think this will be a very good let's break down plays type of show. I don't think it's going to be like a crazy hot take episode. We have Nub and Pat on tomorrow and Donnie and Pat on Sunday. So like, I think those would be a little bit more like, you know what I'm saying? No, we don't do Pat on Fridays. Today will be, I think, a bit more like, especially with the last, I think all 3 of these matches are pretty interesting to break down. Let's start with this one because this is a must win for both teams. Okay? Because they right now are both tied with each other in the current standings for the stage, and the head-to-head tiebreaker, especially if Boston or FaZe stay on 2 wins, may prove very crucial for one of these teams getting out of the 11-12 spot and actually trying to go to Birmingham. Need Don in every episode, but that's not like possible, bro. Dill told me that he's available. So, guys, you know how it is, bro. We give everybody an even amount of episodes between most of the boys. So, any show I'm on is boring. All right, Mitch. Appreciate it. What I say about FaZe? You guys want me to? Okay. Because you guys keep asking, would you rather me talk about the second game first or the first game first? First, all right, quick commercial break. My GoPuff is here. Let me go grab my GoPuff, and then we'll talk about the first match. Guys, there's not that much to talk about FaZe, bro. They have to play better. They have to shoot their fucking guns. It's not that, like, guys, the FaZe situation isn't that complicated, bro. It's not like they're completely lost on the map. They just don't have the gunny right now. Like, it's not that complicated. I'll be right back, though. All right. If you didn't watch Map 4 face Boston, oh, I watched, bro. One second, let me put the ice packs in the fridge. One sec. Let me put these ice packs in the fridge. One sec, chat. All right. There you go. Oh. Let's go chat. What is Pepe's rice ball? What are you talking about, Dalton? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Dalton? Who posted the clip? What are you talking about? If it's where you're no, I'm not watching that clip, bro. Guys, you guys know what account is banned. You guys know the deal. I'm not giving auction to stupid ass clips. And if you guys consistently come in here, talk about that account, like you can leave respectfully. Holy fuck! I haven't talked about this shit. All right, put my brace back on. All right. Vancouver C9, look. Must win for both teams. I think C9 have gotten better. But then they got slammed by Miami. Vancouver, obviously, the big story coming into this is that they have made a roster change with Capsule coming in for Abe, but this Capsule, Gwyn, Lunars, and Teach still like a good combo. I mean, really, Chad. Like, what do we think? Like, really? Like, yeah, maybe Vancouver come in. They have a bit more ice. It's a mixy series. They win 3-1, 3-2. You know what I'm saying? I could see that. And to be honest, I'm probably not going to pick C9 in this one. I'll probably do like Vancouver 3-1. But they could definitely lose this match, bro. I don't think Vancouver is good. And I think Cap may give them a few more extra kills than Abe does. But I just think they're going to end up getting into closer series and just scamming a bit more. They're going to become less of like they just get bowled over in series to more of just they get in a good situation. They can't close a map. But I don't know. Maybe Capsule comes in and just fucking deep fries. Who knows? Golf picks have been good. But like, I can only control so much of the golf picks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's It's a big sport with a lot of uncertainty round around. Like right now, we're sweating out the Jonathan Vegas situation, which I think he's gonna probably shoot 1 or 2 over, which will be good for us. And then I just need Scotty to just have a mid pack round, and even if he goes 5 under, if he just misses greens, we're chilling. I mean, my thing is, I think Capsule is gonna fry today. So like if we want to play a Capsule fry in this series, like how do we play it? Well, it depends on if C9 or Vancouver. The thing that will happen with FaZe is one of these teams is going to end up. Okay, one of these teams is going to end up 2 in whatever. FaZe has a tiebreaker on 1, and they don't play C9 until the end of the stage. I think they'll probably be both teams. So they'll realistically have both the 2 and the 3-way tiebreaker. So God forbid they have the 10 seed. Like, I think they'll probably go. If they lose to C9, like it may come down to them having to beat C9. The 171 combo. It's a lot though. $171's a lot though. Simp needs to be dropped. Okay. Lay off the peyote, brother. No, I haven't, Matthew. Yeah, but they also have a different player now, and Cap may just be a takeover for them. Do we just play a Mixie series? I'm just worried about Vancouver and fucking like Overload, but I don't think C9 like also play that good Overload. What? Hold on, before we go down this path, what were Cap's like actual stats? Like where was he frying? Like actually in challengers consistently. Let's see. He's pretty up and down a hard point. Search bag was good. Was frying a hard point at the last cup. Don't ask me about Tottenham, bro. I don't want to talk about Tottenham, man. There's nothing I want to talk about less than that fucking dog shit football team, bro. Is 0-4's last weekend? No, I think they'll probably stick with 0-4 until the end of the stage. If they decide to make a change. I don't think they're making a mid-split change. Tottenham are in past round 1 now. If you know anything about Champions League format, this is now round 2 of Champions League knockouts, not round 1. Do I think they get past Atletico? No. It would be very Tottenham to somehow make a fucking look a completely different team in the Champions League and terrible in the league. So Miami series for sure has got a better chance to go 5. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. What picks are in his 6? Tom already did a Lunars map 1. Hold on. We're gonna ask an expert here. Is Donnie in my chat? need to ask Don Dada, bro. We need to ask Don Dada. And weirdly enough, I don't have Donnie's phone number. Somehow. I don't think I do. Is Don really who we want influencing our picks? Yeah, because Don has got insider knowledge on fucking Cap. I mean, listen, were there any combos for C9 that are like, or 1-3s that are like way too fucking low? This is gonna be a mixy series. So like, encourage 1-3 might be a really good play, no? Yeah, Hyde does set pace though. That's a good point. The key means 1-3s. Hyde hit this. He didn't get to Miami, but they all got slammed. I trust encourage more than I do. Yeah, Hyde's overload is. Even everything S&D for them now. Would we rather do encourage or hide, bro? Let's do encourage for now. We'll come back to it. We'll do encourage for now. It's going to be a mixed series, so like one of these is heading. I don't think C9's getting bowled over 3-0. Hide more map 2 could be a good play. 7's pretty high though. And I didn't put up numbers, but 7 in a series like this is, unless they're like literally S&D go. You know what I'm saying? I'm not super confident on that. But anyway, I got Vancouver. If Shotzi wins champs this year, he may be #1 player all time, bro. That's the thing. If Van goes back to back to back, we're gonna have a very awkward conversation by him and say Krim and Damon, because neither of them did that. So yeah, if Shotzi can go 3 back to backs and have a dominant season, we're gonna have a very awkward conversation about that #1 spot all the time. Not even about CDL #1. What do you mean no? That's why I said it's an awkward combo. All right, let's move on to the second match chat. It's a big one. You know, we were really excited for this one coming into stage. But FaZe had a tough week. Going 0-2. I think the Boston loss is bad. If they'd been 3-3 coming into this, I wouldn't have favored them against Thieves, but they'd be like the spot that I expected, which I thought coming into stage, I thought they'd be floating around 500. It seems like potentially they're going to be less than 500. Thieves are in cruise control, but you know, this could be a bit of a trap series for Thieves. If they come out, here's the thing with FaZe is like if they come out and they actually shoot today, then like the S&D is very exploitable for Thieves. The problem is FaZe haven't looked that good in search. FaZe really struggled in S&D. And the overload's been bad. I mean, just the trend on everything for FaZe has just not been good. You know what I'm saying? Like Hardpoint, okay, they lost 2 to Falcons, but generally have been like pretty good. But like everything else has been bad. The S&Ds have been bad. The overloads have been bad. 0-4's first blood percentage is fucking pathetic. I mean, there's no other way for me to say that doesn't sound fucking terrible. But I mean, 27 for 50 is fucking nuts. Like, I don't know what to say, bro. Really what this series is going to show is kind of where this FaZe team is at. Are they going to try their hardest to battle through some consistent slaying issues to show some kind of fight this stage? Or are they basically destined to get maximum top 6 of this event and make a roster change at the end of it? I don't know. I mean, I always thought that this FaZe comp would have probably a bad stage because they're not coming out. It's not the same team as last year. They had top 6s and top 8 somewhere in this team eventually. This seems like the stage where it might pop for that, but like, yeah, no, their slaying has been bad this stage. I mean, there's no other way to slice it, bro. I mean, bruh. So, we'll see. Maybe they lose to Boston and they've been locked in this week in the fucking lab. We'll see. But the problem is they had this problem too last stage. They overcame it by, you know, getting a really consistent slate performance from draws at LAN. But they've been kind of flirting being a 500 team all season online. So I got Thieves 3-1. I think FaZe will take a map. But I won't be surprised if this turns out like the Boston series where FaZe win map 1 and then crumble after that. I don't think FaZe is a problem slaying. Check the team stats. Trust me, watching them play, there's no numbers that are going to overcome the eye test on this one. Watching them play and the way that team plays, they lose too many easy ones that need to be won at that level to be a championship team. And not even the easy ones, the ones that they should win against players with good movement, they lose all the time. They can't hold setups because they can't consistently slay. And they were really good at land at it. But this is why they need 04 to step up. Because I don't think Zach's in a position where like he's always going to drop 1-2s. But if they can get a good performance at 04 with like consistent pressure and space, it makes their team play really well. We've seen that at the time this year. When 04 has played good, they've absolutely bowled people over. but not even close. The problem, and it's gonna be all to spread new narrative. Ben hated Abizi, now he hates 04. But I don't know what to say, bro. 04 has gone positive in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series all year. And there's not a lot of .98s on here. Because if he had, you know, like dropping a .97 and losing game 5 Major 1 tournament, that was fine. Scam the S&Ds, but like if he goes neg 3 in his series, they're chilling usually. But like they're a different team when he can slay positive, bro. Otherwise, like they're gonna have to make a change. They're gonna have no choice, chat. They don't need him again. They don't need him to drop a 1-3. They need him to drop a crisp .98. If he gives them a .98 in every game mode, they will have a very good chance to win every fucking series they play. Maybe not against Optic. That's probably the one team I'd be concerned about, but every other team, they'd be good. Harry's in my chat saying, "Oh, for a walk-in." Are you just saying that as Cope Harry or nah? Are you going? You just backing your boys? You don't want to argue with Harry, bro. We're gonna get Harry on coffee and COD to talk fucking football in a few weekends. Wait, is there a Formula 1 race out during Birmingham weekend? I actually didn't even look. Oh, it is Japan. 1 a.m. Japan GP start time UK. Oh, 6 a.m. Yeah, no, I won't be live. Yeah, if 04 gets it going, bro, they're going to be in a good spot. It's just, it's time to click on, bro. That's for what it is. I mean, Paul, you probably been in situations like that. Like you're a pro, every pro probably ends up in it. You get rope, right? You get rope, but the rope slowly runs out. And is there pressure to get results, especially on you know a team like FaZe? But what shows the true side of someone who's a professional is how they handle that situation, you know. Sim went in Nub chat and said "fuck you," and Nub responded, "You should say be saying fuck 04." Fucked up. But yeah, if 04 can find some consistency. Again, like especially in S&D, like a lot of stuff will come together for them. That's the thing. It's like I see the motion of what they're trying to do. They just haven't been able to get in that gear consistently this year. Well, I see the motion of how this team is built. The problem is that they may just they're in a position where they haven't gotten into those like they haven't gotten those situations enough, especially against top teams. And when they play top teams, they just turn into a knockout, drag out game 5, like have to grit up on Colossus S&D, which is not even which they can't even consistently win now either. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a bread and butter map for them, but they've now lost Colossus the last 2 times they played it. What's FaZe's best hard point? Probably Blackheart right now. But it may like they lost exposure to Boston. They did not put up the exposure roll, but that's been a good map for them prior to that series. They haven't really played Scar this stage at all. The one time they did against Miami, they got ran. I don't know. The thing about FaZe is I'm less concerned about the hard points. I'm more concerned about the other modes. Their overloads, their S&D form comes and goes. The most concerning thing is the eye test on the overloads. They haven't looked anywhere close to winning these 3 maps. And both of these other wins are hella sketchy. So I think their overload's in a bad spot right now. And one, they don't win a lot of close games, although neither is Thieves. And this has been a concerning stat. This number keeps getting bigger, and they just keep like having to rely on just playing defense. Why did I pick skiing over snowboarding? Because that's what I did when I was growing up. I've boarded before, but I prefer skiing. The problem with snowboarding is like there's certain mountain situations that having a board is not like ideal. Moguls is one. You could definitely mogul board. You can definitely do a mogul boards. It's just not that fun. And fucking glades are really, it's already kick turns with skis. It's even more annoying with fucking snowboards. Well, there's mountains in fucking out west. Alta is famously fucking skiing only. So anyway, enough about that. I got Thieves 3-1. I mean, I do like the simp to pimp kind of options in this series. My concern is that I just think there's a chance that FaZe might be like DOA in this series, and I don't want to take like a pimp. I'm very hesitant to take pimp in this series. Where's 04's fucking lines at? 0.83 series, KD. I mean, he should do better than that, but I just can't sit there and like bank on him to all of a sudden turn around. We could do an Ernesto more. I have pimp in another play, Harry. In Tommy 6-pick. I mean, the other argument to that W-Dub is like, look at Optic last year. As long as you play fucking like, as long as you don't play bad at the end of the season, nobody's gonna fucking remember what happens in the middle of the year when you're slumping. Blunt the Hub, I appreciate the subscription, brother. Thank you so much. Welcome to Bedtimes, let's fucking get it. Everybody's never really gonna struggle. FaZe have never had to make a mid-season roster change. This might be the year that it happens. It just is what it is. Like, yeah, I think FaZe have set themselves up. They, you know, they had a really good chance to get like a little bit ahead of this schedule and be better than 500. But like, you know, they haven't beaten anybody good this stage. They've lost to Miami, G2, Falcons. They beat Vancouver and Toronto, both pre-changed. They haven't beaten anybody good this stage. Well, Dirk now, that's the problem with all the BRs. Almost every BR has gone through that cycle. That's a competitive BR. The only one that I think is holding off a little on it is, because you've seen it happen in PUBG, you've seen it happen in Fortnite, you're seeing it now in Warzone. It hasn't necessarily happened as much in Apex. But yeah, the vets like age out and the cracked young kids come in. I don't think it'll happen with the CDL though. The COD CDL requires like way more teamwork. The difference between a BR and like a 4v4 arena shooter like this is the top level of being good. There's a skill floor, But then there's an additional level of being a good teammate, not getting discouraged by practice every day, and doing what you need to do to get in the best mindset and team situation possible, and then being able to execute that on LAN, which requires good communication. Like that like you can get away with a lot of stuff in BRs because of how just chaotic it is. But there's way more prep and like there's just way more strategy involved with arena shooters. And don't even get me started on like a CS, for example. They're not dropping Crater, bro. The blame Crater fucking meta on Reddit is actually said dumb. I've been in that room over the years. I don't think coaching's the fucking problem with that team. I think there's only so much that coaches can do. But like in the case of FaZe's problem, like Crowder's not sitting there shooting 0-4's controller. You know what I'm saying? Like having fucking draws hold the sketchiest fucking angles all time. I think when you watch FaZe play, I don't think it's like, if they were playing the wrong way and I'm sitting here like, oh, you know, strategy-wise, they're playing the wrong way. I don't think that they play the wrong way. The problem is they don't have a third or fourth gear. The coaches are not going to solve that one. FaZe have had a coaching problems for a year, brother. I'm going to tell you this, guys. You always come to my chat being like, the trio should never split up. I'm telling you guys, like, I think Simp pretty much gave you in a window as to what their issues were. No coach is fixing that problem, bro. Okay? They had a 6-year run, and by the end, I don't think coaches are fixing, you know, the scar tissue between everybody after being on a team together for fucking over 1,000 days. They don't have similar issues. They have different issues this year. They're not the same issues. If you think it's the same issues as this team, you don't know ball, respectfully, Sonny. Which is par for the course with you because you come in and are probably the lowest IQ chatter consistently in my chat. You are actually probably in the bottom 1% of people in my chat as far as actually having correct takes consistently in my chat. No disrespect, obviously. Because holy fuck, if you think they have similar issues, then you just don't watch ball. Okay? With old FaZe, there was never a problem with them shooting back. Okay? Their problem was people then slumping on Sunday, and the fact that they were never a disciplined team necessarily to begin with was how it got away from them. The problem with this team is I think they're usually disciplined. The problem is that they don't have the fucking power like some of the other teams in the league. And in order to overcome that, they need to be Vancouver style last year, like where everybody's consistently fucking frying. And this year, right now, like they've been playing series 2v4, 3v4. Like, no, I don't think it's on teamwork. Sometimes it is. I don't think watching this team it is though. I'm telling you, do you guys watch matches? This is the one top team in the league that consistently misses the most like medium to like they consistently lose the 60-40, 70-30 gunfights that they should win. More so than any other top team. And I would get it if it's against an Optic. I get it if it's against like, you know, a Miami who play like way faster than them. But the fact that they can't be fucking G2, the fact that they got embarrassed by Boston, okay? The fact that Falcons outplayed them when I think the Falcons are in a good kind of run right now, but they play very loose COD, speaks to the fact that this team has only got 2 gears right now. And again, that has nothing to do with coaching. That has to do with players' ability to just get going in a series. So I think for FaZe, look, there's a good chance they're going 0-2 this week. And that's going to be the bottom. But can they then win, you know, 2 of the next 3, win the play-in, and then you're going to an 8-team double in bracket, and who the fuck cares at that point? You know what I'm saying? See, you know, at that point, everybody's in the same spot. And it won't matter online, because if you go to that and get top 4 plus, and it's like, okay, you know, we battled through that, like, then you kind of know. I just think the unfortunate the way I see this week playing out is I think, and I'm not going to be on the Saturday episode of The Flank, just spoilers. in order to do the rotation. I'm not on Saturday's episode. I'll be on Sunday's episode. I think the convo on tomorrow's episode is going to be like, well, it'll depend on seeding, B-Dub. It'll depend on seeding. Because there's not, it's, I mean, I think Optic will be 1 seed. Sure. But you got to also remember, and I think people need to mentally prepare themselves for this reality of Birmingham. People are traveling across the ocean. I don't know when the play-in is going to be, but do not be surprised if a number 1 seed or a number 2 seed gets upset in winners round 1 at this event. I'm being dead fucking serious on this. Do not be surprised if one of the top seeds loses their match on the first fucking day. I think there has never been an event format more likely it's going to happen than this one. Because a team will come in having played a series already. No, but the difference TP Rocks in this one is one, like 2 of those teams will have likely have played another match prior on LAN. They'll be a little bit more kind of in tune on what's required. And it's possible to catch the other top team, the top team that they're playing by surprise. So I'm just saying, I think y'all need to mentally prepare yourselves that like the bracket could get a little fucking weird. It's possible every tourney, kinda, yeah, but like this one in particular though, with the play-in, like they're gonna have a clear, like comfortability advantage compared to other teams. The last time we had it like that was like a little bit was like fucking Raleigh a couple years ago. We saw some upsets on the first day of Raleigh for sure. Well, I'm not even saying it's FaZe. I'm not even saying that FaZe is the team to do it, right? Because look at the standings right now. Right, who do I think are kind of the likely play-in candidates is probably, I mean, I think Miami will move out of this, but I would say probably FaZe, I think, are going to be in the play-in. There's Miami have left. And they got a lot of freebies coming up. 4 teams. It's going to be 2 of these teams. And then this. And then probably one of these. I mean, there's definitely a chance, bro. Especially if it's one of these 2 teams. If a G2 or Falcons ends up in the play-in spot, and then they got to play Optic or Thieves round 1, like, yeah, no, I could definitely see an upset happening. Especially if they've already got reps on that stage. I could definitely see it. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but yeah, Marshall, it's tough timing. What do I think FaZe will do is they'll make a change after the split, like fucking everybody else when they're in bad stage. They just never had to do it before. Who makes the decisions? I think if you're talking about how this lineup got put together, I think it was a collective failure. Currently, obviously, they could figure it out. But right now, why, you know, if you're talking with the respect I assume about the 0-4 move, I think that's a collective failure. I don't think there's one person maybe necessarily to blame in that situation. That's not really kind of how they make team decisions. Vicky, link it, KSA, link it. That's a collective failure on everybody. A draft is never going to happen, so I don't even know why you're. The snake draft is never. It's not a real. I'm not going to have that debate, bro. It's not even a realistic option. If there was ever a draft snake, Optic will just leave the league and just take their bag and go home. So So it's not going to happen, bro. It's been proposed for 13 years by fans and has never been any remotely seriously considered. The only time they've ever done it is they had a couple of years where teams in like the CWL and pre-CWL era where people like did a like snake draft for like bench spots and rookies. But that was like such like a non-serious like process. No, that's not what I'm saying, Iron. I'm just saying that they're never going to be in favor of that. Neither would FaZe, neither would be Thieves. Neither would Falcons. It kills their market power. You think FaZe Benji was pushing for the sub duo to break up? Then I want to 0-4 instead of Nep? Yeah, because I have a voice in that room. Okay, because I'm on the team. Yeah, okay. And Jakey also highlights a problem. Assuming that you have a draft, how is compensation going to work? No. Comp season all time, AW is the best one. Black Ops 3 with more events could have been too, but you know, I don't want to talk about Tottenham, Justin. I don't want to talk about the Dogshire football team, bro. It's gonna make me mad. Black Ops 4 was peak. Black Ops 4 was good, but it's not as good as AW. Anyone that was around for AW would agree. Anyone that was around for AW will say AW. Black Ops 3 could have been the best year possible, but we only had like 3 events a year. Justin was around. Justin and I went to a fucking AW event. Justin and I drove up from fucking Austin to Dallas, UMG Dallas. Yeah. No, I agree, Charlie. But like that was when it was like a really like it changed after that year was like when Activision started taking esports seriously, and you know, then they actually started taking the competitive circuit seriously. Before that, the only event they cared about was champs. Do I think Spurs will get relegated? There's a good chance. Yeah, there's nothing good about the way they're playing right now. They should have already made a change. Not really. The thing with FaZe is if they make a change, they're a market setter. They're gonna have the pick of the litter on whoever they want to get, unless like I don't know. There's some unexpected like optics, like I don't know, some unexpected situation. Someone like breaks their hand or some shit. I also saw some people yapping that they should go get Joe Deceives. I'm gonna put a pin in this one. Joe Deceives is not gettable for anybody, bro. Okay? Toronto is not going to sell Joe. They do not care about money. They want to have a competitive team. They're going to maximize their remaining months to Joe as much as possible, and nobody's going to write a insane check to get him, even though he's only got 4 months left on his contract. So I don't know why people keep saying, oh, if they should get Joe, yeah, no shit, that'd be great. But I mean, if they could, he'd already be on the team, and he would have been in the team this fucking offseason. Don't you think? Joe would have been their number one talk in his offseason if they fucking dropped Abe. Don't you guys think? Like they would have got him in August. Oh. What I get if I'm phase? Okay, let's say they play this stage. Let's say they have a tough stage, okay? Okay, let's say hypothetically they have a tough stage. Okay? They get like top 6 or worse. And they think that they can't fucking... No, I don't agree with that. Oh, wait. Also, what do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean by that? Because I might agree or disagree with you, but you gotta specify. Their issue is never the sub player, bruh. I think it's pretty clear. I think it's pretty clear the easiest problem on this team right now, but okay. Could they get cramp? No, I don't think G2 will sell cramp. I'm going to say it's going to be really difficult for them to get anybody off of a CDL team that's on like a good team. Like, I don't think they can get like an Estrel or like a cramp off of G2. There's nobody else. I don't think Real. I don't think, what did Ralphie say? I'm giving Toronto far too much credit on how they handle transactions and roster decisions. Oh, I have spent a lot of time on this stream talking about Toronto's roster building process. They certainly have a process. I wouldn't say that necessarily it's the world's greatest process. And they made a lot of missteps year one. They torched a number of player relationships. They got better. But we've had a couple of off seasons where they've, stuff is on always sunshine and roses on that team. And I'm very curious to see how Toronto handles the post-show world, because I think they may just fall. Here's my concern for Toronto Ultra. Oh, Charlie, if people knew the tonnage of stuff that I knew about Toronto Ultra, Toronto KOI, man. ArcTest, it'll come out eventually. It'll come out eventually over the years. They're not the world's most buttoned down situation. I think there's always some disagreement within the camp about what they want to do. The problem for Toronto is that I think if this team like plays okay this year and then Joe leaves, they're not good. They're going to be getting the best of the rest team, and they may be in like a G2 situation where it's like they're just going to fall back towards just being in the middle to like the bottom every year instead of like the floor they're at now. Aber lurks. I think both of those guys, if FaZe are going to make a change, I think those are gettable. Those would be theoretically gettable. The problem is that Luka is not a... Okay. Holy fuck. Some of y'all just type shit in chat and don't fucking think. Okay, y'all watch a Luka play. Is he an entry sub player? Yes or no? Is he an aggressive sub player? Is that currently the role he plays? So if you're replacing 04, why the fuck? You would put a Luka in. You'd have 3 ARs and Simp. So explain to me how the roles are going to work on that one. Okay? They're very patient with the Luka. Bro, no one is... Okay, you say that's what... Bro, you act like there's a market of teams trying to sign a Luka right now. I don't think so. Not at the moment. Now, if after the stage, someone wants to take a chance on him, and they're not going to, they'll let Luka go on loan. Luka is a sub. No, Luka is a flex player, bro. Luka is not a aggressive, cracked SMG. His best role is going to be run whatever gun you fucking want and get kills. That is going to be that is his role. that he's going to play in the league. I've watched a lot of Luka play, bro. The guy is not a like he's not a like crackhead run around SMG player. He is like a do whatever gun, and that guy is a takeover slayer type. This whole bench thing is stupid. How is it stupid? It's actually the complete opposite. What? They saw a talented young kid, bro, I swear to God. They saw a talented young kid that they could use as a piece potentially for the future. Okay? And for example, right now, right? He's playing pretty good this fucking stage so far. Okay? I think if you watch his streams and watch their practice, the one thing I will say with the Luka is like, he definitely acts like an 18-year-old. I think that's pretty clear if you watch their fucking stream. So what he'll need to develop at the next level is a bit of a thicker skin, a bit more selflessness, and then but that's fine. Like, we've had plenty of 18-year-olds like him have those issues, and they develop into perfectly fine fucking CDL players. Like, the thing you can't teach is like his ability to just do the unexpected, just take over shit. Thicker skin? No, I'm not calling him soft chat. That's not what I'm calling him. What I'm trying to say is that bro, if you watch his streams, he's a very talented kid. Okay? The thing is can he, because he's an 18-year-old, like, he's not fully emotionally developed. Nobody's expecting him to be fully emotionally developed. No, very few 18-year-olds that have ever come into the CDL or CWL have ever checked that box. Okay? And a lot of top players that you know, when they were first in the league or in top challengers, they were the same. But like, you know, they're also like, how many 18 guys, how many people you know that are just about to graduate high school that are like, you know, emotionally 30? Probably zero. Okay? So like, his development tree, like, is just starting, bro. I think they saw an opportunity to like, I think they saw an opportunity to take a talented kid. They had some cash to spend and like develop him. Cause like, if they can figure out how to make him fucking, you know, game ready at the pro level, like he's got unbelievable gunny. Seth slammed at 15 in collar and AW. Okay, well, I watched a lot of optic scrims back in the day. I love Seth, but like, you know, I will also admit that like emotionally he wasn't the, you know, the world's greatest teammate at fucking 15 either. Donnie was fucking also very young. You know what Donnie's talked about the last couple of years? That he was a giant fucking shithead when he was a kid. Fucking playing pro COD. Dylan Attach, bro. I watched their scrims every day in AW. I love Dylan. But man, the amount of times that Chris, Cap, and Clay roasted Dylan on a daily basis on the team was fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Well, that is a good point, JP. But the thing is it depends on what type of team you're going to go into. Because the thing is, JP, as you know, like when you're on a championship team, you have championship expectations. And the thing is, if you come in that room and you're not emotionally developed or willing to develop emotionally, because obviously expectations are different, and you're going to run into issues. Because if you come in and you're willing to absorb, then people are going to give you, your teammates are going to give you that respect of like, okay, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes on the map and as a teammate, but that's okay. Because you're here to learn and you're willing to learn. And if we give you criticism or feedback, you'll be fine with it. We did this with MC. I think MC did a good job of this the first 2 years, especially when he was in the league. Like, MC took all criticism. Okay? Like, you could be straight up with MC on mistakes he was making, and like, you know, if he felt like he had conviction on, he would stand on business, which is fine. But like, if the conversation ended where he needs to improve on X, Y, and Z, like, it wasn't a go fuck you conversation. You know what I'm saying? But that's where a lot of players have gotten in trouble because they come in and they're not willing to learn. And then they get bounced back and forth about 5 times until they realize it. What's Abe's exact situation? I actually want to say this about Abe. You're talking about Vancouver Abe. I actually think him getting dropped actually was a great move because I think there's a very good chance that if he continues to fry in challengers, he's going to get on a better team. Low-key, Abe may actually have gotten blessed by getting dropped. So. Yeah, I think Bush is a good fit for him. They fucking love him. I mean, Bush have not fucking skipped a beat. Yeah, I mean, their fucking overload is like pretty mid-pack to stage, but like this is overall, so it doesn't have fucking this stage. But they've won every hardpoint S&D they play. They just lost all the overloads. Well, because Bush are willing to, here's the thing is because Bush are willing to pick up the guys that are sitting on the edge of the fucking ledge. You know what I'm saying? Bush are very clear they're trying to win. So they'll pick up the Fires and the Big Wakes and the Byrons and the Capitals of the world. You know what I'm saying? And I got to give credit to Jace. Like, Jace does a good job of, you know,